My ex wants me back. I am so angry I need to vent. 3 months ago, my ex-girlfriend accused me of cheating with her best friend. In reality, I was planning to propose to her, and her BFF was helping. The plan was to celebrate her birthday and propose after a fancy dinner. The thing is, I have no experience in fancy restaurants, but she and her BFF have. So I didn't want to look like an idiot during dinner, so I asked her BFF to help me with that. We went to have dinner at the fancy restaurant. I messed up a lot, but I learned a lot. Reason we haven't gone to any in our 2 years of relationship is because of money. But just a month before our breakup, I was able to afford it. Her other friends saw us at the restaurant and told my girlfriend. She made a whole deal out of it, calling me a cheater in her socials. And every time I tried to explain, she just screamed at me. The cherry on top was that her BFF is married, so this caused trouble everywhere. But her husband knew about it. He was actually supposed to be there, but got caught in traffic because of a car crash after work. So he arrived just when we were leaving. We three tried to explain, but me and BFF's husband got shut down. BFF managed to talk, but got basically the same answer, that she was a homewrecker and all that. Now she is apologizing. The story the friend told her is beyond what we thought. The story was that me and her now ex-BFF were at a fancy restaurant. We kissed, that I grabbed her ex-BFF's behind before leaving together in my car. What? Then during one night out after heavy drinking, her friend let out she was happy that I was out of the picture, followed by a confession that she was glad her exaggeration broke us up. I don't care about her at all. She can burn in hell for all I care. Her screaming at social media almost costed me my job, and I have been explaining it to my family since then. She dragged my name through the mud. She can go screw herself. Info: you still cool with the ex-BFF and her husband? Doesn't sound like the BFF and her husband actually did anything wrong. So if they were friends before, no reason they can't still be now. But if they were only friendly through the girlfriend, then I'm sure they're at least cool in general. You refused to trust me and your BFF, based on lies from another casual observer. You accused me of the worst type of betrayal, when the reality is that I was trying to plan the perfect proposal for you. You lost that proposal, you lost my trust, you broke my heart, and I never want to hear from you ever again. Goodbye. And blocked. She treated you horribly, and the petty in me would make sure she knew about the proposal she ruined for herself now that she's realized she made a mistake. Just as an extra little jab in return for how she hurt you before you never talked to her again. It's bad enough that she dismissed him and the BFF, but she also dismissed the husband? Why would he lie? This is the perfect response, honestly. Maybe she thinks he wants to keep his marriage intact? To be fair, just a boyfriend and BFF trope is detrimental and emotional enough that people can lose sight of the big picture. Having a malicious friend whose intention is to break things also add on to it. This is a very nuanced and delicate case. Not really. If your soon-to-be ex-fiancé doesn't trust you, her BFF or BFF's hubby, while trusting some rando friend, then they deserve to be single. OP's ex obviously has trust issues and isn't someone that should get married at this point in time. They probably had some insecurity, and a whole friend used that to tell OP's ex what they wanted to hear. It's normally the kind of advice she would receive if she posted online. She also probably didn't expect her friend to be so malicious. What that friend gained from doing this, I don't know. But if she claimed to actually see what happened, it wouldn't have been hard to believe at the time. But BFF's husband vouched for you guys though. That's the issue here. Gosh, what a mess. Was the other friend always this bad? Goes to show the quality of relationship advice given online is painfully idiotic at best and maliciously destructive at worst. Sounds like dude dodged a bullet in my opinion. My wife had a friend that accused me of something so far out of character that her reaction was to start laughing. Closeted heroin addict was upset that I refused to give her boyfriend a ride to where she was staying at 3 a.m. The request was so outrageous and I assumed it was drug related, so I just kept it to myself. I never thought highly of said friend, but they were childhood friends. Figured my wife would eventually draw her own conclusions, so I left it alone. They aren't friends anymore, and last I heard the ex-friend was headed to jail for robbery or something. I'm not saying people should just blindly trust their significant others, especially early on. But it's hard to imagine a scenario where I or my wife was accused of something and weren't granted the opportunity to explain. Like you'd need the video evidence or digital proof. That sort of accusation should be an uphill battle on the end of the accuser in a healthy relationship. Am I wrong for not wanting to get back with my girlfriend after she kicked me out over her cat? I moved in with my girlfriend about 2 months ago after dating her for 8 months. I had my own place, and I was reluctant to move in with her. She promised it was the right step to take and that it would make us grow closer. She has 3 pets, 2 dogs and a cat. I like pets, but she is obsessed with hers. That's fine with me, but she seems to blame me for everything that goes wrong with them. I have to be constantly watching out for these, so I don't do anything that could cause them any issue. 2 days ago, I was working on my car outside, and she was inside with her roommate. I know for sure I closed the door behind me so the pets don't go out, but I also saw her friend smoking in the backyard with the door open. A few hours later, she wanted to feed the cat and could not find her. Somehow the cat got out and ran out. We spent a few hours looking for her in the neighborhood and could not find her. She then told me it was my fault that the cat ran away because I was outside working on my car and going back and forth. She said she can't stay with me in the house because my presence gives her anxiety and it's better if I leave. And if she doesn't find the cat, the relationship is over. Fine, I packed a few things and went to stay with my parents. Today, apparently the cat came back on her own. She called me talking about how happy she is that the cat is back. How she is her baby, and she is sorry that she was mean to me and that I should come back. I told her the relationship is over for me. I'll be picking up my stuff, and I don't see myself with someone who's gonna throw me away like this over a cat. She said I am overreacting over the whole thing, that she was just anxious and doesn't know how to handle stress. Am I wrong here? Someday, you will look back fondly on that cat because Kitty helped you dodge a crazy train. Absolutely this. If she has anxiety issues, she can either get help or learn to not make it other people's problems. Completely agree. She's getting a step closer to being the crazy cat lady that kids run away from. Opie, you got a lucky escape from this woman. Just say to yourself, the cat helped save me from a crazy cat lady. She said I am overreacting over the whole thing. She was just anxious and doesn't know how to handle stress. Am I wrong? LOL, I'm not sure if she is aware that this does make her case even worse. Who wants to be in a relationship with someone who will overreact because they don't know how to handle stress? She should really work on this before even considering being in a relationship again. Also, I wouldn't stay with someone who jumps to blame me when something goes wrong. Why would I want a partner that always assumes the worst of me? This reminds me of the 40-year-old woman I dated who thought it prudent to say the reason she doesn't own a car is because she has trouble making decisions. I didn't find that adorable like she did. I found it to be a helpful red flag that she's 40 and still can't take the anxiety of making a decision on which vehicle to purchase. She just showed you where you stand with her. Below her pets. Hell, below her friend. Because I'm going to assume you mentioned that the door hadn't been opened by you? So she just overreacted, threw you out, and then pats her leg and expects you to come back for treats? No thank you. To be honest, I'd be completely blunt with her. You insisted I move in with you because it was good for our relationship. Then you put me and my housing in jeopardy by unilaterally throwing me out of your house. How do you think that makes me feel? Like this isn't my place and I have no right to be here if you can just decide to throw me out. No, I'm not putting myself in that position, and I'm not comfortable if your go-to move is to overreact when you're stressed and blame me. I didn't sign up for that. Until you can figure yourself and your stress management out properly, I'd really advise not dating anyone. Because this isn't going to be the only time that you do this if you have friends over that let your pets out and you prefer to blame your partners. A woman from high school and college expressed interest in me romantically today, and I felt a strange new type of anger. I'm 32 and we met in high school. We were both pretty academically inclined, and we ended up taking many of the same classes. AP Literature, AP Physics, AP Calc AB, AP Chem, etc. So we ended up taking many of the same courses together, which led us to be friends. After a while, I had a pretty serious romantic interest to her, but she was fairly clear she wasn't interested when I discussed it with her. I completely respected her boundaries, and we remained friends until we gradually lost contact in college. Her taste in partners was always never particularly good in a traditional sense. One of her boyfriends in high school had absent parents and would chronically throw parties and sell drugs there. Another guy just basically skipped classes routinely and would bully other kids. She ended up getting into the University of Maryland and on track to attend medical school after. I ended up majoring in physics and ultimately getting a master's in data science and now working as a software engineer. I later learned that she ended up pregnant to a college athlete and dropped out of college entirely. From what I gathered, he ended up failing to make a career out of his collegiate experience and ended up as a high school coach. They got married and had another kid, and ended up divorced a couple years later. She then had another kid after her marriage to a boyfriend and now works as a nursing assistant. We recently reconnected at a party with mutual high school friends and decided to stay in contact as friends. I thought that's all she wanted out of this, but after texting tonight, she informed me that she had always been interested in me and wants to date. Given how she dismissed me earlier, I found this hard to believe. It's easy to notice that she's now a single mom of 3 with a low-paying job. She also knows I'm doing well and knows what I do for a living. She saw my house by the water with a boat. It feels like she wants me, only because she has crippling responsibilities now, and thinks so little of me that she doesn't think I deserve to be with someone who genuinely loves me and not for my things. Well, then tell her that you're not interested in a relationship and be done with it. Just send her a message that you moved on. No point in getting angry about it. She maybe regrets her life choices, but she wasn't interested back then. If he remembers what she said to turn him down back in high school, he should repeat that back to her when he turns her down. Could be nice in a poetic sense, but in my humble opinion, it's also quite petty. Opie should at least act above it, and not like they're still clinging onto decades-old hang-ups. I wouldn't feel angry, I'd feel relief you dodged a bullet in college. I mean, it sounds like her life would have turned out differently if she'd gone with Opie in the first place. But that's not who she is. She didn't like Opie then, and likes him now for the wrong reasons. I understand your feeling. She rebuffed you, you accepted. Now the rest can be viewed 2 ways. She's back now that she has baggage, or her life experiences have matured her and she has an interest. Either way, you don't have to find out which it is, because it seems you are now both incompatible. That's perfectly fine. She wanted different things, and that's fine. You now want differently from her current life, and that's also fine. I don't think there is a need for anger. You weren't each other's person, which sucks. But you seem to have built a good life for yourself, so just focus there. No was valid from her, and it's also valid from you. Incompatibility can be hard, but there is danger in the anger framing this has. I would look into the insecurity or hurt this tapped into, because her interest after all of this time shouldn't really mean anything at this point. My girlfriend freaking cheated on me for the dumbest reason. I can't believe it, my girlfriend cheated on me, but for that reason? Let me start off. In high school there was this girl that had a crush on me and eventually asked me out. She couldn't believe it after I agreed, because she always mentions that I am out of her league. I would always tell her that it's not important and that I love her, or else why would I agree on a date, right? The date went great, and we stayed together until she was 22 female and I was 23 male. We both have decent paying jobs, and we are living in a house, and we were planning to marry and whatnot. The thing I didn't like was that she still always mentioned that I was out of her league. I told her I wasn't comfortable with that, and I asked her why she would always mention it. She said that she was scared I would cheat on her. Now I will describe my life. No female friends, just 5 best friends since my childhood. I don't go partying, and if I would go, I would never go without my girlfriend. I usually go 2 to 3 times a week without her with my buddies, mostly to the gym. She does go partying without me, but I don't really mind because I have trust in her, and I am not this kind of jealous partner. She would always come back at around 3 a.m., but I would like be sleeping because I have work at 5. I am pretty active on Instagram, and I would always post pics of me with my buddies or my girlfriend, or just pictures of me in the holidays. I would have many people in my DMs, but I would always ignore them, tell them I have a girlfriend, or just block them. Now one day I was at the gym with my friends, and one of them invited me to his house because we were very tired. He asked me to stay for the night, and I agreed. I immediately told my girlfriend and sent her my location. She just read it, and everything went on normal. So the other day she came home later than usual, around 4:30 a.m. I was awake because I had to go work. After I saw her, I just asked why she came home so late, and she answered with, "I have just forgotten the time." I didn't think much about it and went to work. Later that day I got a message from her saying that we have to talk. I just said that I have to work and I am coming home later. When I came home, she was sitting on the couch crying. I thought someone died, and I went to comfort her. I asked her what's wrong, and she told me that the day she came late, she had slept with her ex. I just looked at her and then asked why. She said that she is insecure because I am out of her league and that she is pretty sure that I have cheated too at least once. I just continued looking at her and I said that I needed a moment and I ran out of the house. I didn't know what to do, so I just went outside and drove with my car away. I am not an emotional person, so I didn't really cry, but I was just thinking the whole time, she freaking cheated on me. After I came back home, I saw her just acting like everything is normal, and she tried to give me a kiss, but I refused. Dump her. Her insecurities are not your problem at this point. After all these years, she finally made her predictions true, because I don't know about leagues, but for sure you deserve better. She made her own self-fulfilling prophecy. Nothing important will be lost in breaking up with her. I don't think she has insecurities, just using that as an excuse to cheat and get pity. Basically, she's trying to train him to accept this behavior through guilt. If what was written is correct, she's been doing this for a while. But something must have happened, or someone she recognized at the club noticed. She's trying to control the narrative before any potential witnesses comes forward. Seems pretty straightforward to me. There is no future with someone like that. Opie should thank the Lord he was shown the light early before he gave up more years to her.